Hi, I'm Lisset King.
And I'm Brittney King, and welcome to another episode of Honest Feedback. We have been thrilled with how many of you have been calling in and asking us for feedback. So we are here today to talk about the thing that makes the world go round.
Gravity.
I think that's what holds us to the ground.
Okay.
We've adopted this system called commerce and money.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
This is the money episode.
This is the money episode.
Okay.
I think I am a fan of like energy exchange where it's like, what's the energy exchange? Interpretive dance? Tradesies?
Yeah.
Also a fan of money. Money. Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
I don't even know who sings that one.
And it wasn't close enough for us to get, old royalties on that one. Yes. All right.
Money.
We're talking about money today.
And relationship.
Ooh.
Yes.
We know a little bit about this one.
Yes. According to the internet, it's the number one cause of divorces. So what that tells me is that there is a big gap between where people talk about like money and then how that goes into their romantic relationships. Like, you'll be in a relationship for like a year and a half and like money has not come up. And then all of a sudden it's like, by the way, do you want to throw a very expensive party together? Like,
Yeah. Yes.
it's like, I don't know how you do money. How do you do money? What would you say was like your upbringing with money, the way you interacted with money?
Oh, that's a great question. With relationships and money, I think I modeled my parents and I was super avoidant. It both wasn't talked about a lot. Like from my parents, but it was felt a lot. Like I can certainly feel the pressures my mother felt around money. I remember like specific memories of like seeing her very worried about like not having enough. So I remember that being very impressionable in my youth. However, it wasn't really something talked about or taught to me about how to manage it or be with it.
Yeah, I wasn't taught about it either. Hello, where are the teachers at? Okay.
Yeah, I think until we were together, it was when I really started to bring it to the forefront of our conversation.
Yes, you definitely took a stand.
I did. I had to take a stand for money in our relationship.
We had different ways of doing things, and I was feeling a lot of different things. The way I grew up, money wasn't really talked about, except for like 10% went to tithing. That was told, but no one really talked about money, and it was very much like I got a lot of mixed messages about money because my family growing up, we had everything that we needed, and yet I went to a very affluent school where it was balling on balling. It was like, did your parents get you a range for your sweet 16? I guess you're broke. Like, so it was a very different experience. And then being in that kind of social atmosphere, I was like, oh, this is how you like use and spend money. You fucking ball like for all things. Now, I didn't understand that like, there has to be an underlying system that's earning the money to ball out on.
Oh, yeah.
But like when you're kids, you're like, I felt like I was in Clues. It's like kids are swiping credit cards. I don't know where the money comes from. Who's paying the bills? I'm just swiping cards and being like, let's go to lunch. So
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
So we had to grow through a lot of things to get to where we are today. So I'm really excited to support this caller.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Stacy again. I got my words right. Okay, so what are ways in which to communicate finances and goals with my partner on a weekly or monthly basis? We are also trying to figure out a common goal, but we lead such different lives. Our common goal doesn't always match financially. So what's been the challenge for me is that I've started a new career path. So my long-term goals are still kind of getting ironed out. And that being said, I feel that my partner's plans get put more as a priority because they're more solidified and he's been developing them a lot longer. So basically, it feels like until I can come up with something that's adding a little more to our growth as a couple, we're kind of defaulting to his future plans. So my question kind of a roundabout way is, how can I get clear on what I want, add value to our plan without simply defaulting to his because mine isn't quite developed enough yet? And how do we lovingly merge our long-term plans together so we both feel fulfilled individually, but we also feel like we're moving together as a unit in one direction? I realize it's okay to have individual things going on, but especially financially, we'd like to take the next step, and we just want to feel like we're moving towards a similar goal financially, especially for the long term. Thank you so much. You guys are such an inspiration. Love you.
Stacy.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you for recording 2 voice memos. The first one was a little short. We just started with that one. It encompassed everything that you wanted.
Stacy, I was so excited, girl, to hear your message. I was like, yes, we get to talk about something that we both have been doing a lot of growth work, I would say, over the past 2 years, into of like how we get our mind right, how we get our money right. So I reached out to Stacy to get some clarifications because I wanted to know, like, what is the direction you're moving in? Like, kind of where are you at in your relationship? Because I wanted to give Stacy like functional advice that's actually going to support her and where they're going. And I just thought everybody wants to kind of know, be like, where are you going, girl? So Stacy said, we want to be married. However, we want to figure things out before marriage, not just as we go. We want to build a joint account in addition to having our own money. We want a mutual savings for a home, car, travel, wedding. Those are big things to be saving for, and great thought process of like having these conversations before we've gotten the government involved in our personal relationship.
Yeah, that's a really smart move.
Yeah. Baby, you're making a face.
Yes.
She's going to spill the tea.
I am going to spill the tea. I just want you to know, I so like getting married to Brittney was absolutely 100% my desire. I was not in a rush to get the government involved. She likes the paperwork. So
I do.
So we got the government involved, as she spoke of, and it wasn't until after that we started to have a lot of things come to the light as far as our money and our spending. As some of you may know, or we're telling you for the first time, we did a 5-month cross-country honeymoon. Yeah. And it was awesome because we were stuck in LA during Pandy, and we were like, you know what's less crowded than LA?
And less expensive?
Anywhere. And so we took off deciding we're just going to go camping, we're going to isolate, we're going to live our lives as best as we can, all things considered. And so we go and we take off on this trip, and we were very well prepared. And there were things I started noticing. I will admit I am a bit frugal.
Purse strings are tight.
I like to know where my money's going.
Yes.
And Brittney, not so much. No.
I know where it's going.
Yeah.
It's just going to different things than you.
Yes, we can say it's going to different things. We were staying somewhere. We were finally like landing somewhere for a good amount of time. And Britt went shopping, and I was like, hey, would you grab me some beer and like maybe like, just some food. And then all of a sudden she comes home with, enough beer and food to feed a party of 20. Like we were going to host an event. She had bought games and warm socks and just like an abundance of things that I wasn't like, my brain wasn't computing the need or necessity for all of this. And, different styles, different money styles. But it caused like alarm. I was like, hey, what, just out of curiosity, how much did you spend for this short amount of time? It's not. And the number, I found the number alarming, just for that moment in time. And
it was $500.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Which, is not a big deal
It was big deal.
Yes.
When you don't have a lot of money, it's a big deal.
Yeah, we were on a budget.
Yeah.
We were honeymooning on a budget.
Yes.
And so this small little grocery run with lots of tchotchkes and other things was just a little out of line. And I just don't drink that much beer.
And I don't drink any beers. That was the beginning of these dark days. Sometimes can be like the thing where you're like, oh, there's light here. That
Yeah.
was how we started to really have like honest conversation about like what were our values around money, what were our goals around money.
It gave us an opportunity to take a really good hard look at ourselves and why was I so tight with my purse strings? What's the baggage that's coming along with that? Where did I learn that programming?
And where did I learn what I did? Because I was coming from a deep place of scarcity and not having enough. And it was just like, oh my God, we have money. We have to fill the fridge because who knows when we'll have money again. So like we have to
Yes.
buy everything right now. I don't know how to hold money. It was deep in there.
It was deep in there. Yeah. And what we decided in that moment was that we would take a financial literacy course
Together.
together. And I think that's where our advice starts. Highly recommend taking a financial literacy course together. It doesn't matter your level or his level of understanding, but just know where your point A is, where you are, and then choose to move towards something together. We discovered through Instagram eavesdropping on us and the algorithm, they recommended, thank goodness, the Budgetnista.
A true saint. Like, thank the goddess for the Budgetnista because she helped us get our minds right, our money right. Like, she is a true blessing. She is a woman of color. Like, and we took one class with her and signed up for her academy because we were like, this is exactly what we need. We were looking for something that would really break down like the basics, like where to start from, because like we didn't really grow up with our parents teaching us about money, let alone like sophisticated things like stocks and stuff. So it was just like, we really need to like start at ground zero.
And I mean, the first day one was have a budget. And Brittney only cried through most of that process.
It's crazy what happens when you literally have to write everything down. And it's like the way that the Budgetnista has you go through your budget. It's like, no, like don't just like guess things. Literally like pull out statements, pull out your checkbook, pull out like the bank statements and literally write down like every single thing that you spent money on. Write it all down. Now we're going to write down how much every single thing cost. And then she's like, now write down how much money did you bring in? Now let's look at the numbers.
Now let's look at the difference. And then the difference was stark.
Stark.
Yes.
Yes.
It was very stark.
So it was just a huge enlightening overhaul of just like, because I never quite understood. I was like, I'm bringing in money, but like, there's always like this part where like, I don't have money, but like bills are due. Like it was like, oh, when you write it all down, you can see where the drops are coming in and where the lack of funds are coming from. And like, oh, you can actually see like, this is where my actual money is going. And I would actually recommend to start writing everything down like on a budget sheet as opposed to even just using those apps that will automatically track it and tell you. Like you need to know your budget and your wallet and your spending habits inside and out.
It's important to, when having this conversation of what your goals are and what you want to move toward, is like even getting your values within one of the, like each one of those, like what's important to you about home, what's important to him about home. Like for him, it might be a hot tub. For you, it might be a yard. Like, or you might have, yes, both of you are yes to a tub. I know we're both yes to a tub.
Yes.
And knowing what what the shared values are, so you can move toward that and know what this actual number is.
Get clear about the amount of money of like, what is the shared value around the thing? Like some people are like, I want to be able to buy the home cash. Other people are like, I'm fine with this kind of mortgage. Like we got to dig deep of like, what is it that you want it to look like? A wedding can look like anything. Do you guys want the kind of wedding where it's like, hey, we got a few friends, we rent a house, we elope? Or is it like we're at the plaza? there are doves. Everyone my parents has ever met is invited. We've paid for everything. Like, these are big scale. So it's like, what is important for us for each of these categories? And then literally come up with like, okay, what kind of frame of money do we even feel comfortable spending on said thing? I know it's hard to say as someone like we've eloped and there's a part of me that wants to have a wedding. And then when I start to look at the wedding, I'm like, ooh, I don't even know. I don't know how much it cost. It seems like it's a lot. And it can be anywhere from a very little to a very lot, but starting to figure out like what are the values that you want for your wedding. How we even got to elope was we wanted to get clear about what the values we wanted to have in our marriage. Yes. And we spent the whole day like in a meditation, having fun, making love, figuring out what the values of our marriage were. And then we were like, from that space, we were like, we should get married today.
Yes.
Because we were going to plan our wedding that day and we were. And it was like, oh, today's the perfect day to get married.
Yeah. Yeah. Today has all the things that what we desire, which was to have people that love us and witness us and hold the vision for what we're creating. And that it was a magical portal. And we got married on a leap day in 2020. We were planning a wedding in June. We got married on leap day. And because it was very clear today's the day to get married, I heard this is a portal and you must jump through it. And so we're like, great, we're going to get our one mutual best friend to come over. She got ordained. She showed up. She married us. And 2 weeks later, lockdown.
Yeah.
So that was the perfect wedding for us.
It was so perfect. It was so perfect. But like knowing like what, even in the talks that we've had about like possibly having a bigger wedding, like part of me is like, oh, I think I want this and want that. And like baby loves a practical purchase and like more simple. And she's like, I don't know if we need all that. I don't know if we need all that, which is fine. But it's like, let's get clear on what we both want. So, because like, if you're not in alignment of what you both want, then the spending of the money is going to be irritating. Like if someone's like, I want to spend all of our money at Disneyland, and somebody's like, I want to spend all our money on antique spoons. Like that is good. Like when someone brings home that antique spoon, you're like, I could have been with Mickey right now. You know what I mean? Like you need to know like, hey, where do we have shared values of like how we wish to spend our money together?
Yes. And also, it sounds like you had mentioned how he's established and you are not quite as established yet. And I can only assume that means like has more finances coming in as opposed to you as you figure out you just started a new career. And what that contribution looks like. I believe in our arrangement, we work with percentages. So what feels fair contributing to these funds? If you're trying to dollar match, like his dollar match to your dollar match might be your entire income that week. So what we live by is percentages. Like we have a certain amount of savings account. We have a lot of savings accounts. Also, hot tip from Budgetista. We have a lot of savings account. We have a savings account for everything, and we contribute to it by percentage. You know, like what's being brought in, what's going on. And for that reason, like our travel account is as nice and hearty as it is. Our gift account is as nice and hearty as it is. Wedding it's on its way. It's already at my ideal wedding, but it's on its way to Brittney's ideal wedding. So we just keep contributing to it. But we contribute by percentages. So now one person is feeling like, oh my gosh, well, I have to give everything that I made to match your dollar amount.
Yes.
And everyone feels fair with where they are. And then sometimes you might go, man, I really want to up that. So you'll increase your earning power, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. We have come to the agreement that everything that gets brought in, we share right down the middle. And we have a prenup. Highly recommend, must recommend.
Highly.
It leaves so much more space for that to be out of our mind and to know that like we wrote it in love. We wrote it that we're going to take care of whoever's doing the taking care of financially. We'll continue to take care for up to 5 years. It's called a sunset clause. It's magnificent. And it just feels good. It feels so loving to have that in place. So with that, knowing what percentage you're going to contribute to each account. Hey, 5% goes toward the wedding. 5% goes toward our just cause trips. 5% goes toward our big vacations. Because yes, we have an account for each.
Yes, because those are our values.
Because
we like going on trips together and
Yes.
separate, but like
Yes.
that was important to us.
Yeah. So it's just about sharing and contributing in a way that feels good. So percentages really help with that.
Sorry. I also want to say percentages are very helpful if you are someone who is self-employed, owns their own business, or has an irregular income. Live by the percentages.
Indeed. And yeah, there's just so much financial literacy out there that's possible. Through Budgetnista, we found Earn Your Leisure. Cannot recommend them enough.
Yes.
They have actually taught me so much about investing and, retirement and things that we've upped our credit score. Just over 2 years, we have made so many big moves by choosing to go on this journey together. Like we've paid off all our debt except college loans.
Yes, I'm waiting, Joe Biden, on your campaign promises.
Whenever you want to handle that
Whenever
promise,
you want to
we are here for it.
cancel my student loans because they are criminal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's an aside. Yes. However, just even being able to get financially free to this degree has been through the work we've done through financial literacy, like just hopping on that journey. And it's not just learning things. You've got to deconstruct. You've got to pull apart the programs. I've done work. I've done NLP work around my money limitations, scarcity. It has been incredible. We've taken on coaching. I've done some coaching with John Asraf. He's incredible for mindset.
Yes, and Ash Cash, great for mindset.
Yeah, we're doing the work. You got to do your work to know how you got where you are to get to where you're going.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's an opportunity to make it fun. We have it. Monday nights is our Money Mondays.
Money Mondays.
Money Mondays. And we do financial literacy courses, whether that's John Asseroff, great for mindset. Ash Cash. Like there's so many people.
Earn Your Leisure.
Earn Your Leisure.
Yes.
Like we do financial literacy courses together. So that way we're both getting the same information. And then that way we can make decisions together based on like what it is that we want. And I would say number one is starting with a budget. So figuring out your budget of like how much does it take for your life to function? What is that? What does that even look like? So that way you can even get to the place where you're saving for these big things of like a house, vacations, a wedding, those kind of things. Yeah. And then even like try to make it a fun thing where it's like, hey, maybe it's a night we cook dinner together after we play some kind of game together. But like, let's try to take the scaries away about it of like, it's money. It's going to be this deep, dark Batman 78 sinister talk.
Yeah.
I just feel all the Batmans keep getting darker.
Yes, the Batman does keep getting darker and darker.
But like, let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
So that way it can be a fun experience where it's like, oh my God, today we're going to learn about money. Today we're going to learn about how to pay off our student loans. Today we're going to figure out how to save for the wedding that we want, and getting clear about like, what is the thing that we both want. Make it an engaging activity that you're both excited to show up for, and keep your commitment to it and figure out what's realistic for you. Money Mondays, we've been doing it for a long time. The first year was like every Monday did it. This year, it's been more every other Monday. Yeah. As we've grown and needed less of the frequent check-ins because we both know we're like, this is where the ship is headed and can do a little bit more of the steering on ourselves. And then...
And we've also automated a lot of our life.
Yes.
Which has been beneficial. Things we've learned through these courses. Automation is key.
Yes.
Automation is freedom. So yeah, the Money Mondays, it's a great way to have we're just sharing what we do, what we've done. There are infinite sources of information. Money Mondays is what we do. We also have something called Radar.
Yes.
We will share the link below. Multi-Amory is an amazing podcast. We've mentioned them before. However, Radar has changed our life. Like, it is a monthly meeting where we talk about everything from sex, quality time, other partners, chores,
Money.
money. Yeah. And it has its own line item because it is something that needs to be checked in every month. Sometimes it might be like, hey, I'm actually feeling a little overextended this month. How can I'm asking for support. It just offers this place where all of it is held sacred, and it's a place to talk about it like freely. And it really actually adds to a lot of the fun we can have when we're not having our radar.
Absolutely. And I've had fun in the radar. And it's like one of those things, if a relationship talk like makes your butt pucker of like, I don't know if we need to be getting into like sex, quality time, and all these things, be like, hey, I found this tool. Let's do radar. Let us start with just like maybe one topic. We'll start with money radars and we'll start there. Or we can do 3. We'll do money, whatever speaks to you. Money, sex, love. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Money, sex, chores. And start with those topics, and then you can expand to include the whole thing. But having a regular space where it's like, hey, we're going to have a check-in and then also have a reconnecting activity after really, really just makes a world of difference. I cannot recommend this tool enough so you guys can get into the same page.
And I will say, just cautionary, the first time we did it, or the first 6 times we did it, they were long. They were long meetings. Our radar, that was kind of an emergency radar when we found out that the discrepancy in how we spend was a very long radar.
Very
long, because we had to like really dig into like our history and our past and what it meant. And, just we had just been married, and I'm like, I'm married to an overspender. And she's like, I'm married to someone who's super frugal. Like, how do we meet in the middle there? So I will say, highly recommend Radar. It's a must listen. We recommend it to all of our friends in relationships. It really just creates a beautiful container to talk about all these harder things. And it leaves more time for fun, because something might come up and you'll go, you know what? We have a radar in a week. I'm going to save that for that, and I'll just let today be
fun,
nourishing, loving time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do want to touch on, you said that you weren't sure what your long-term goal was, so that it feels that things get deferred towards your partner's long-term goals. This is something that's really, really common, and I would say this is a place to definitely stand up for oneself and like create a boundary about this of like, hey, maybe you're not sure what your long-term plan is, but you can open a savings account called long-term plan for business and just start contributing money to it. Like, figure out like, okay, I'm just going to put this amount aside. When I know what I want to do, then I will be able to act from it, because I will have money saved towards it.
Yes.
So that way everything isn't just being like, well, it's only what my partner wants and not what I want. Like, start setting money aside, and you guys can always work up to having a joint savings account if you guys aren't ready for that step yet, or a joint checking account. You can do your long-term savings accounts as, hey, we're doing these together, but we're not ready to like blend everything yet. And you never have to blend everything. Like, we both have our own accounts, our own separate savings account, our own separate things. And then we have a checking account together and a savings account together.
Yes.
But you can do whatever works for you. But you just have to get clear of like, what is going to work for you.
I know what it's like to not know where you're headed. That's definitely a very real thing. But that doesn't mean that your current choices shouldn't be respected and cared for and loved. So I know this is our kind of fallback advice. However, have you thought about having an honest conversation about it? About how you feel in that space from a loving, like the truth is, you love each other. I'm going to take a leap and say you love each other. If you're making these kinds of big goals, big plans, if you want to marry this person, and they want to marry you, there's love there. And that the fact that there's love there means that there's a desire to be met and there's a desire to meet you. And maybe it's just speaking your truth of, I'm still working on what's going on, and it bothers me that we always default to your plans. So could we find a space to create space for where I am now? And as I get more concrete on my plans, we can contribute to that or talk about it more. So it's just a really good opportunity for you to express your needs. If you're going to marry this person, got to get used to expressing your needs.
Yes.
All the time. Every day we're expressing our needs.
Yes.
You know?
Because they're different. Every day's a new day, a new opportunity. Like, let's lean into the honesty and tell this person how you truly feel, how you feel when they show up in certain ways. And let's try to figure out ways to move forward where we're both able to support each other where we're at in the moment.
Yes.
It's a team sport, y'all. Marriage is a team sport.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is. And money is really, it's important. It's a foundation. It's a pillar of your relationship. It's where you're headed. It's your legacy. And today is the perfect time to start talking about it.
Yes. I love seeing money as a tool to live my best, most amazing life. So if it's a tool for me, then I need to know some things about it, and I need to know where it is that we're going together. And I want to have my most amazing life. I want my baby to have her most amazing life, and I want us to be able to create an amazing life together. So that requires communicating about what we each really want and getting clear on our shared values. Shared values. That's really clutch about where are the shared values of things. And if it's one of those things, like if it's like, hey, it's not a shared value for me. Like if someone's like, I want a very intense race car or something like that. And it's like, you know what? Like that, I don't care about that. Like not even a little bit. So like 100% support you getting what you want. But like, can we contribute money to our shared values and that be the thing that you buy on your own?
Yes.
And it'll just be yours.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely. I think that's, you bring, yes. Yes. Everything you said. Values are really important. It's the simplest way I can like zoom it in is just pick a topic, say like travel. What's important to you about travel? And you guys make a list. Like each make a list on your own. What's important to me about travel? Big level words like fun, beach, play, underwater sports, or you write them down and then like see what do you guys have in common? Like what are the things you have in common? And then those are your shared values, and you can start moving toward those and like number them in order of importance. So like man, his top 5 and my top 5 are so far from each other. Maybe vacations are something we should do separate.
Yes. Which is totally a thing.
It's totally fine. We do that.
Yes, we do that. It's fun. It's great.
So definitely get clear on those values, get clear on your shared values, especially when it comes to home, travel, wedding, and car, because you said you wanted to save on those together, and see if you even have the same things that you're moving toward. And the ones that light you up, that you're both excited about, then focus on those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you so much, Stacy.
Yes. Thank you, Stacy. That was a great question. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you guys. And we're just speaking our truth and our story. We don't have the end all be all of advice. Based on what you heard, finances were not our strong point, and we're still novice in it. However, please use the resources we recommend.
I would say we've gotten to experience. I will recommend Tiffany Alice's book, Get Good with Money, New York Times bestseller, 8 weeks on the list. This will change your life. Us being in her class has changed our lives, our financial lives. Like, I'm financially liberated now because of the work that we've done with Tiffany Alice and the boys at Earn Your Leisure. So I cannot recommend those resources enough.
Yes.
Of getting excited.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
This is not sponsored, but she is our digital mentor. So we know how to represent. Get it, girl.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's been a game changer. It's been a life changer.
We would love to hear other people's feelings, relationship things that happen with money. If there's other questions, like we love talking about money. We want more people talking about money, how they spend it, what they want with it. Like, yeah. So let us know. You can call us about anything. Our number is 971-895-4111 and leave us a message with your name, your pronouns, if that feels good to you, and what you want to know about, what you want some feedback on.
Yeah. Make sure you follow us on all social media. We are at Honest Feedback Podcast on Facebook, IG, TikTok. And definitely like and subscribe.
And rate and review us and all those little juicy things.
And share.
And share.
Call. And stay plugged in.
We love a vibrant community, and we are so grateful to get to know you all better, deeper, hear more what's going on. So thank you for trusting us with your questions. And like, I want to hear it in the comments. I want to know what's up. Like, whose money with their significant other is fucking on and popping.
Yeah. Tell us how you do it. Share down below. Let us know how you have the tougher conversation or how you have the conversation. Make it fun. We are always here to grow and learn.
Yes.
We can't do this without you. We love having you here. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. And as always, remember to be honest with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.